Are you thinking about moving to Eatontown, New Jersey? Well, the centrally located Monmouth County town flies under the radar a little bit, but it has a lot to offer for commuters, families, and anyone that wants access to the Jersey Shore and major highways. Like any town, though, it has its pro and it has its pain points. So in today's video, we're going to cover the top 3 pros and cons of what it's really like to live in Eatontown. Before we get started, though, if it is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. The very first pro will be the central location and commuter access. I would say one of Eatontown's biggest strengths is the fact that you're like not more than 10 minutes away from a lot of major things. Like, so for towns like West Long Branch, Ocean Township, you're basically right next door. And when it comes to commuting, you have the Garden State Parkway, Route 18, 35, and 36, all easily available to you and get you north or south. So if you want to get into New York City or just going south in the Toms River, this is all very possible for you. In terms of train stations, there was going to be 2 nearby. You have Long Branch and Red Bank. So basically, depending on where you are in Eatontown, might be which one's better off for you. And then last year, you're also going to have an Academy bus, and this will give you direct access into New York City. But this one will only go into Port Authority and not the Wall Street District. So basically, either way you look at it, you might have to just go into Port Authority, Penn Station, depending on if you take the train or the bus. And then from there, maybe you have to go farther south to Manhattan. Con number 1 will be the high property taxes. Unfortunately, with Eatontown, along with a lot of other parts of New Jersey, this is pretty much unavoidable at this point. So I would say for an average single-family home, be expected to pay anywhere between $9,000 and $12,000 a year for your annual property tax budget. So just something to kind of throw in there. That's, if you're on that $12,000 range, that's an extra $1,000 a month just going straight to property taxes, not counting your mortgage, interest, and insurance. So this is common in New Jersey, though, specifically Monmouth County, and pretty much I say anywhere north of that. If you wanted to get into some cheaper property taxes, you have to go a little bit farther south, Ocean County and beyond. But at the same time, then you're sacrificing your location and commutability to either New York City or possibly Philadelphia too. So it does have its pros and cons, I guess, just depending on where you live, location-wise too. Pro number 2 will be the diverse housing options in Eatontown, and they give a pretty wide variety. So it appeals to a very large portion of buyers. Someone that's a first-time home buyer, looking to downsize, less maintenance, or maybe upsizing with a growing family, and you want that traditional colonial 3, 4, 5 beds and beyond, right? So with adult communities, you'd be in that $600,000 to $750,000 range. So they will be on the more a little bit expensive side, but you're going to get some quality here too. There's not just going to be a one-level ranch that's a lot smaller. So I would say it's a higher end, maybe adult community. And then when you get into the condos, townhomes, you can start out with some co-ops. They're going to be in that $100,000 to $200,000 range. Cash only transactions though, and you have to be approved by the park separately. Moving on a little bit farther, when you get into the condos and townhomes, $350,000 to $650,000 is probably going to be the bulk of the sales. And then afterwards, they have a new construction community going on, which is like $1.4, $1.5 million. So those kind of range pretty heavily on your prices. Last but not least will be your single families. If you want a smaller ranch style home, probably in that $475,000 range. But afterwards, once you get, like I said before, to those colonials, 3, 4, 5 beds, I would say you're basically starting around $700,000 and working your way up. And you can get easily into the 7-figure ranges here in Eatontown too. So overall, like I said, you can get something if you're a first-time buyer, downsizer, and even a growing family. Con number 2 will be the limited downtown and nightlife scene. So while Eatontown gives awesome conveniences, like we've mentioned, between the diverse housing options, centrally located, commuter access, it doesn't have a massive going out scene. So you're not going to be saying, oh, I'm going out in Eatontown tonight or anything like that. Most of the dining and shopping will be in different strip malls along Route 35, 36, and other available highways or main roads in the area. But if you're going out, you'll likely go into Red Bank, Long Branch, or Asbury Park, which are neighboring towns pretty much, and they have a much better scene. So if you're someone that wants a nightclub, craft breweries, just a really awesome restaurant in general, those are probably going to be your main options. And that's not to say that Eatontown doesn't have good restaurants to eat available to them. It's just you'll have a higher end or better experience in those towns versus being in Eatontown. Pro number 3 will be the redevelopment and future growth happening on Eatontown. I've already made a video on it in the past, but I'll link it in here. But essentially, Monmouth Mall, which was a staple of the community for a long time, started dying off a little bit, and they're repurposing it into something called Monmouth Square. It's going to be a mixed-use development, so they're going to have luxury apartments in it, but also retail shops and amenities there too. So if you're looking to buy into town, obviously these rental apartments aren't going to really matter to you too much. But what it signals is people and companies are willing to invest in Eatontown as a place to put their money. So if I was buying in a town like this, it makes sense to me that, okay, if they're willing to reinvest, they've done all their homework, probably more likely than not, 5 to 10 years from now, my property values are going to be affected in a positive direction. So you have an influx of people wanting to live here. And then after they're done renting, maybe purchase in the area because they want to stay there too. So I think these are some good plans going on. And again, the surrounding area with Oceanport and the racetrack, Netflix is coming into town. So there's so much happening in Eatontown. It's hard to see property values going down anytime soon. Con number 3 will be the traffic at major intersections. So while it's awesome to have so much commuter access, it can be a little bit of a detriment at the same time. So with Route 35, 36, and 18, all kind of jumbled together at one point, that little area, kind of close to actually Monmouth Square and where Monmouth Mall was, can get pretty backed up here and there, especially during those peak times. So for instance, your heavier commuting hours, Monday to Friday, I would say 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. are going to be pretty jam-packed. And the same thing in the evening from about 4 to 6 p.m. So just be prepared for that. It's common in New Jersey. We are the most densely populated state. So Eatontown isn't alone in this. A lot of other areas are going to have just their own variation of that area too. So I used to work over in Shrewsbury, which is, again, the next town over. And I was very thankful that our morning meetings didn't start till about 10 or 10:30. I can go in a little bit later and avoid that. But yes, it's just the nature of the beast while living here in New Jersey. We have a decent amount of traffic. And after all that, what do you think about Eatontown? Do the pros outweigh the cons for you? Are you happy with the central location and commuter access? Or does the high density and traffic scare you off a little bit? Would love to hear it in the comments down below. With that being said, though, if you are looking to buy or sell in the Eatontown area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is also down low in the comments and description. So whether you are 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out the 2 videos popping up and hopefully they help out a little bit too. Have a great day.